Real quick, I just wanted to share with you that From Scratch is an independent podcast that is not backed by any investors. If you do enjoy these types of inspirational stories and would like to support the podcast, I will leave a donation link somewhere above or below this video where you can make your donations discreetly and safely. If, on the other hand, you have a business and would like to advertise during one of the episodes, I have 3 types of sponsorship packages that basically fit any type of budget for your business. Any financial contribution is highly appreciated, and I cannot thank you enough for your continued support. But you don't have to donate in order to support the podcast. All you have to do is just simply subscribe and share it with your community so that these meaningful stories will reach a wider audience. Thank you for listening. Now let's go back to the episode. Welcome to From Scratch, the show where our guests share their journeys of success and failures. My name is Joko. I'll be your host. Today with me I have Laura. If these stories are something that inspire you, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below and share them with somebody to inspire their day as well. Now, Laura, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Tell me briefly, what do you do now?
My profession is a massage therapist.
Okay.
I own my own massage therapy business.
Okay.
I own a sweet business out of an old home downtown Plainfield.
Okay.
It's called Rock and Rose.
Okay.
For a good reason. My love of rocks.
Mm-hmm.
I just wrote a children's book
Interesting.
about a rock.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, so that's where I'm at now. It was a long road between those things.
Let's start all the way back. When you were young, where did you grow up? How did you grow up? Family, no family, society, school, high school. Take me through your younger days.
Yeah, okay, great. So I have been from Joliet my whole life, born, raised, went to a private grade school here in Joliet. I went to a private high school. I had a really small circle of friends, really sheltered of an upbringing, to be honest, when you look at nowadays and my kids going to school and their big schools. I was at very small schools growing up.
Okay.
I had a pretty uneventful childhood in terms of trauma, I guess you would say. I thought, a very well upbringing. I got to play sports. I did dance. I did poms. I did basketball. I was busy.
Nice.
I just kept moving. I was never really one to sit still.
Now, when you say traumaless, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
trauma is bad when it's happening, but eventually it teaches you a lot of valuable lessons. That's not to say that if you don't have trauma, that you didn't learn valuable lessons.
Oh, yes.
Right.
There's plenty of things that I could look into where I was like, oh, yeah, that was traumatic, but nothing in terms of constant.
Right.
Not things I see nowadays of reality of people's situations. I look back and I see, well, that could have been worse.
Right.
I was very blessed to have the upbringing I had. I had food, I had a home, I had a school to go to, I had animals, I had things like that, and I feel like even just those things made me feel really blessed.
When you say animals, you mean pets, right?
Yeah, I had cats,
Okay.
3 cats, Precious, Trouble, and Midnight, and I had a dog, a Scottish Terrier
Oh, wow. Okay.
named Colby.
Lonely. Alone, like by yourself, or do you have siblings?
So I have a sister
Okay.
who's 4 years older than me, and then I had a brother who is 11 years younger than me.
Had?
Well, I have a brother,
Oh.
but I had back then a brother.
Okay.
So he's still around.
Okay, good. Let's keep
Yes.
it that way.
Yes. So he's 11 years younger than me, so I am a middle child.
Okay.
For a long time, I was the youngest.
Yes, okay.
Life was busy. My parents were always working. They owned their own business as well. My dad owned a business for a long time.
What kind of a business?
He is an appraiser
Okay.
in Joliet still. He still does that. And then my parents decided when I was about in 6th grade to open a tanning salon.
Interesting.
Yep. So they did that for many years throughout my high school. So I really got to see operating a business and opening a business firsthand from him.
Interesting.
At the time, of course, I didn't realize anything, but I was watching, and I still take a lot of the things I seen him doing, and I know I do it now in my business, the same mindset. I watched everything.
Right.
And I don't forget those things. His
Can
work
you give me a
ethic.
specific example?
Yeah.
I would love to hear
So
it.
one was cleaning the rooms at
Okay.
the tanning salon. He always said that when people walk in, they need to feel like they're the first person that ever walked into that room. The garbages need to be emptied, the floors need to be cleaned, everything needs to be wiped down as if it was their first experience of the day that person walked in. Not only for my business, but the building I own as well. I want it to be that experience for people when they walk in, that work ethic of making sure things are clean and having pride in the space that I have.
Walk me through a fun day back then. What stood out? Like, give me a core childhood memory, good memory.
This is kind of a unique experience, but one that stands out to me is I was very into rocks.
Okay.
But my dad would take me, he took me to different places that I could go look at rocks. And one of them was an archaeological dig. And he would sign me up for things like that. And so anytime that I could go somewhere that we would go look for fossils, anywhere we went, I would pick up rocks. That was kind of my happy place and my
Okay.
joy. I think it relaxed me.
Okay.
And I liked that one-on-one time as well that I would have with my dad or my parents. And that's kind of where my love of rock started from. It sounds silly, but even now I do those types of things to relax. And it was a big part of my childhood. Like we would
Yeah.
stop places, I would take a rock. Like my parents were like, you can't keep stealing those. Those are people's rocks. I'm like, it's fine.
Like, I'm sure they won't miss a rock, right?
Yeah, I'm like, it's fine, right? It's fine.
Sometimes we need to, like, get away from the real world, right?
Yeah.
To kind of like a safe place where you feel like, okay, I can rest here a little bit before I get back to reality.
Yeah.
And the rocks and digs, archaeological finds, is it just rocks, like specifically rocks, or also like archaeological finds?
One I did, we went south in Illinois. I don't remember where, but
Okay.
we were looking for actual rocks that were fossils with like leaves on them or
Okay.
bugs on them. You can kind of go and hunt for those. So another time I had signed up, he had signed me up for an archaeological dig where you look for artifacts.
Okay.
It was almost through sand. We learned the process of uncovering layer by layer to
Interesting.
look for shadows in the sand and in the dirt. And then if you seen a shadow, like you would stop and you'd be very careful to not disturb. It could be a plate, it could be a vase, it could be anything. It was an archaeological dig site, so it was roped off.
Wow.
And we learned the process of uncovering those types of things.
That's a very tricky and like very sensitive.
Yeah, especially I think I was probably 12 or something.
Oh, wow. So you're pretty young too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are you the only one from the family that is into that type of stuff, or are your siblings as well?
No, just me. Just
Where'd you pick it
completely
up?
me.
Where do you have you ever thought like, how did I pick this up? Where did I pick it up?
I've never actually thought about that. I don't know where it would come from. And the fact that it's still with me so prevalent
Right.
today, which is so much that I named my business after it, wrote a book after it. Where did it come from? That's a really
Right.
good question. I'm going to have to think about it because I don't know how far back, ever since I was little, my parents made a poem about me and it was, roses are red, violets are pink. If you keep stealing rocks, you're going to end up in the clink. And they would say that
That's
to
an
me.
interesting twist.
Yeah, they would say that to me because that's how prevalent it was.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe it could have came from my dad being interested in that as
Was he?
well. He was, but not to like the point that I was at, but he would show me those things. So maybe somewhere in my memory like that
Yeah.
started my interest in it.
So
And
he
then I
planted a seed.
Yeah, he
very
planted, I
early
think,
on.
a little seed early on,
Yeah.
and then I just went with it.
If somebody were to meet you back then, right, who would have they met?
I always had a smile on my face. I had a nickname in high school from my softball coach. I was named Smiley.
Okay.
That's not to say I was always happy. I think it was my natural disposition.
Mm-hmm.
So they would say I was a happy kid, creative, outgoing, bubbly,
Okay.
sassy.
Did they know about your hobby? Or did you keep that mostly to yourself?
Probably mostly to myself. Probably for a really long time, just kind
Really?
of a quiet thing. I did a lot by myself. Social media and stuff wasn't a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I played a lot by myself, and I was very comfortable doing that. And rocks and hobbies like that was something that I could do by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt a lot of comfort in doing that. So I never had a large circle around me to like share that hobby with. And
Right.
I don't know if then I even would have thought they would be interested in that. It was just something I like to do. So I never really shared it with anybody.
Did you ever have dreams like, I want to be an archaeologist when I grow up? Because, like, I feel like this is something I can dig
Yeah.
deeper into, if you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
I did for a very long time wanted to be an archaeologist.
Okay.
And I knew my mom was like, no. Mm-mm. Like
Why?
growing up, I wanted to be two things. I wanted to be a mom and I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
And that's from like third grade on, those are the two things that I wanted to be. From our little town, that seemed a little bit too far out there of a profession. And teaching was a more safe profession to get into that would get you
Right.
a job that was here
Salary,
in a yes,
benefits.
all
Yeah.
those types of things. So it wasn't until I went into college for teaching, but then I took a rock class my freshman year,
Okay.
and there was at least 100 kids in that class, and the professor pulled me aside and for a meeting, and he was like, "You're number one in the class. Why aren't you going into this?" And he's like, "Are you sure you don't want to?" And I'm like, "No, my mom would not like that." Like, I never felt like I missed out
Mm-hmm.
on going in that direction. I was comfortable with being comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that compliment, and I just kept it as a hobby.
Right.
I never even questioned that I wanted to be a teacher. I had genuinely wanted to do that.
Nice.
I wanted to do special ed.
Right.
Yeah, I was happy doing it and learning about it. I love learning about it. So that's just the direction I went.
Did your parents still have the tanning salon?
I believe in college is when they eventually sold the tanning salon.
Okay.
That was maybe mid college for me. And then my mom still did the teacher's assistant, and my dad still has his appraisal business.
Okay.
So they continued on doing that. They were looking to kind of settle down a little bit, calm life down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still in school. So I focused on that for teaching for a good 5 years.
I'm sure there was a particular moment that you were like, okay, this is the direction I want to go to.
I felt like I was missing out on my kids being so little. I was having a very hard time going to work, even though I love teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I needed to be home with them. And in order for me to do that, I would need to pick up other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped teaching. I picked up other jobs that I could work in the evening so that I could be home with the kids during the day. It put a rough situation at play at that time because I wasn't making my salary with these side jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So the struggle at that point in time was extreme. We were struggling for money. Even though on the outside it looks like we weren't, we were. I did all sorts of things. I waited in food pantry lines. I would print a treasure hunt. I would call it a treasure hunt. I would take them in my car and I would print the garbage schedule of the neighbors around so that I didn't waste gas. And I would take them on treasure hunts so that we could garbage pick and that I could find things that I could sell when
Oh,
I
wow.
got home so that we could not be so short on cash and so I could have money for the holidays and do things like that. They thought it was a great treasure hunt. I made it
Right.
fun,
Yeah.
but that's the reality of
reality.
it. You do whatever you have to do.
Absolutely.
I would dumpster dive. I would look for things that I could use.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tough time, but I felt so grateful for it because I was home with my kids and I wasn't missing anything. I was taking in all these jobs and I'm like, something has to get easier because we're just drowning. I wanted to go to massage school to learn about massage because I'm like, maybe I could do that. It's still helping people and I could make my own schedule.
Mm-hmm.
My husband was like, no, you can't really do that. We don't have time for you to also take on debt from school
Mm-hmm.
while we're still paying off your original debt. And then also, how are you going to do that? Go through that schooling when you have jobs. And then my family was like, well, just go back teaching. That's an easy solution.
Right.
And I didn't want to do that because I wanted to
Right.
be home with my kids. I don't recommend this, but I lied to everybody I dropped my kids off at my parents' house, and I went and signed, and I told my husband I was going to look at a new car because my car was failing at the time.
Of
And
course,
everything
everything.
was going wrong. And I went and I signed myself up for massage school. I just knew that that was best for me. I had to do it. And I was going to just find a way to make it work. And if people were upset, if my husband was upset, if my family was upset, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through schooling. We did it.
Wow.
It was fine. It was 1 year of working multiple jobs, going to school, doing all that type of stuff. And I loved it. I absolutely loved the whole thing of it. Meanwhile, after that, that really put us in a hole. I needed to pick up 5 jobs. At that point, I was working 5 jobs.
Holy smokes.
Yes. So I was waitressing,
part-time.
part-time everything. I was part-time massaging at 2 different chiropractic offices. Most people don't know that, but then I was
Wow.
waitressing at 3 different businesses in the city, all over the place. And I did that for a long period of time. Plus, I'm working the 5 jobs. My kids have sports. I didn't want to miss anything. So sometimes I would work all day, start work again at like 7 at night till 3 in the morning, come back, get the
Wow.
kids up, go to school. And I got into a routine of it, so much so that no one could really tell that that was getting to me. Well, then COVID happened, and that was the big turning point for me. I didn't lose those jobs, but they all stopped. I couldn't work with them because they were all public jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't be in large gatherings. There goes my banquet serving. There goes my casino job. There goes my other waitressing job. And then you couldn't be hands-on with people. So there goes both my massage jobs. So everything stopped. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, I can't go back to all of this.
Yeah.
This is too much. I'm just going to pick the one thing that I truly enjoy doing. What if I could just do that and put all that energy that I spent on all those other jobs into one thing? And I talked with my husband, and he was all for me just trying it. I decided to lease out a small little salon suite, 9 by 10 room of my own to start my own massage business.
Wow.
I didn't have any clients because all the chiropractic clients wanted to bill insurance, so they didn't want to come with me, because I would be cash. And I decided to open up that small little room, which was very risky because it's during a time where touch was not
Mm-hmm.
a good thing.
Right.
During
Close
the time where
proximity
nobody
and-
wants
yeah.
to be touched.
Yeah.
But again, I decided to do it anyways. That was a blessing in disguise as well, because for all the massage therapists and people in that business who didn't want to touch people, I did. It was my time to shine. And once I was cleared to go back into that space and able to work, I went right for it and started building clientele and
Nice.
starting my business off. And that is where I stayed for 2 years to build my clients, watch what was going on around me, how the salon suites was being run and things like that. I was always kind of observant of that. And then I finally got to the point where I was like, man, I could really use 2 more feet of space. And that is when I decided to expand, find my own space that 2 feet went into a whole house
Wow.
that I ended up redoing
Right.
and making suites so that other women could start as well. Maybe some that are struggling that can't really afford a whole business space
Mm-hmm.
can start here
Mm-hmm.
and have somewhere that so they can do it on their own too.
So now you're providing as well
Yeah.
for people that were struggling like you were.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
Well, that is a big, big step.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, help me understand. You said your parents had the tanning salon and had jobs for a long time, yet here you are struggling. Why didn't they help financially?
I never told anybody until this conversation right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Nobody would ever have known. Nobody would have ever known.
wow.
Yeah. I felt like a phony because I shouldn't be struggling if I have a degree in teaching when I can just go teach and fix everything.
Right.
I shouldn't be in this position. Did I put myself in this position? I was embarrassed by the position that I had found myself in, and I wanted to get out of it. I didn't want to ask anybody for help. I wanted to get myself out of it.
Was it out of pride, kind of like to prove to yourself, because obviously they don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's going on.
I think it wasn't so much out of pride as embarrassment, maybe, for myself. Me wanting to be home with the kids put us in this financial hardship.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, I'm smart enough to not be struggling like this. How could I have a college degree and be waiting in food pantry lines?
Right.
It's embarrassing.
Right.
I didn't want people to see that I was there. Well, you have this nice house. Why should you be
Yeah, but people
struggling?
are always judgmental like that. Like they
Mhm.
see the front end of things. They don't.
Yeah.
They see the cover. They don't see.
Yeah, and like we bought that house on 2 salaries,
Mm.
so that's why. Or why are you driving a nice car yet you're struggling like this? Sell your car. Well, I kept my car nice, but it was old,
Mm,
but I felt like I was going to be judged by other people,
I see.
probably for the situation that I had found myself in. And I would rather avoid that judgment,
Mm-hmm.
get myself out of it
Yeah.
somehow. And I try to show other people is there is always a way. When you think you're at the bottom, there is always a way to get out
Mm-hmm.
of that. And I always knew there was an answer, and I just kept looking for it because it's tough when you're in that position and you don't want to tell other people that you're
Yeah.
struggling. And no one knows. Everybody sees Happy Laura.
Yeah.
Everybody sees social media. And I had so many people say to me, "Oh, you're such a glass half full type of person, or you're always so happy." I made myself that way
Yeah.
to look for the way out.
When you decided to like take your first space, did you know what you were actually doing, or like how were you figuring things out?
So when I first got the small little 9 by 10 space, I have to say, I wanted to do it so bad, but my husband at the time, I was very nervous that, like, I told him, I remember the conversation exactly. I was like, what happens if I go in there and I fail? And we've spent this money and we lose it. He was like, Laura, you're never going to know if you don't try. Knowing that I had him saying it's okay, and if it doesn't work out, it's okay, that gave me the confidence to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very big leap at the time. I had no idea what I was doing at all, especially for the larger space. I taught myself everything about that. Going into massage and opening my own practice was a lot of research, baby steps, a lot of nights staying awake. I would take notes. How do I get a business license? How do I do these types of things to do it on my own? I taught myself a lot of that stuff, and I feel like that was a good baby step for me to lease a space under someone else, learn from the women around me. We were all learning at the same time. And so I would learn what was working for them or what wasn't, and they were learning what was working for
Interesting.
me and what wasn't. And what a great environment to grow your business in. We
Yeah.
all would sit and talk to each other and fail and win together.
Yeah.
If something's not working, change it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Try something new. And so I was constantly changing my business plan,
Mm-hmm.
how to get clients and how to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving into the larger building, that came with a whole new set of
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm outside. I didn't go into business, I went into teaching and I went
Yeah.
into massage, and business is not my forte. So that was new for me.
Tell me one of those middle days. What did it look like?
I was writing down everything because at first I wasn't making anything. How many massages do I have to give to make rent? That was my goal. And then I had in my head, okay, well, let's say I have to do 19 this month in order to make rent.
Mm-hmm.
Then in order to make anything after that, gosh, I have to get quite a few more massages in to be able to make a profit off of that. I would work really hard to try to get those in, but I still have a family
Yeah.
and a husband and kids and
Mortgage
life and all those things
gas
to
and
still
food.
balance.
Yes.
During the days, a lot of my days were spent either working or spent with my kids and my family. And then in the evenings, my brain never stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So when everybody went to bed, I would stay up And I would look into new ways I could do something, write down different ideas or different promotions or different things like that. I would stay awake and work on all of that so that it didn't impact
Time with the family.
my time with the family. I always keep that, even now in my head, is I didn't go in this for just profit. I went in this for family and work balance, not
Right.
working 5 jobs.
Right.
That was the point. So if I spend all my energy hardcore working, something's going to give.
Yes.
I don't want that. So I need to keep it true to myself and what my intention was.
Mm-hmm.
So my middle days were kind of coming back to that intention of balance of that work life in between and trying to keep that.
And that's really hard, especially trying to build the business at the same time.
Yeah, and people want to hear, oh, you worked 100% all the time. You grind. Well, you can't do that with a family all the time without that suffering. I would rather lose some sleep at night, have it affect that time with my family and my kids.
Yeah.
I don't want that time lost with them. I was doing it all on my own. My husband wasn't helping. He has a full-time job, so he was working. So it was on me to figure out these things on my own. I'd like to say I work. I stayed up and worked. But
Yeah.
that balance to me is so important in it. As a mom doing it, I couldn't just put 100%
Yeah.
into a business.
That's the hours, the time that nobody sees.
Mm-hmm.
That you work in the background and then you show up the next day and you're like, let's try this out. And then people just see that.
That's what they just see. And
Like-
it looks like that. Like, people are like, oh, you make it look so easy.
Yeah, yeah.
And if they only knew the hours, so much, writing down every possible scenario,
hmm
everything.
There is nobody that you can like talk to or run your ideas by that could give you anything constructive or something that you could use because they are not in your shoes. Like they don't know what's going on.
I felt alone in it because I didn't have anybody that was doing things like that with me. It is a little bit of a lonely start when you start something new like that. That's one of those challenges that comes when you start an idea that you have and you move forward with it. It can be lonely at times. Run your own ideas past yourself.
Yeah, right.
Because who am I going to run them past?
Criticize them
you know?
yourself. Like, oh, no.
Yeah, I'm like, I
Yeah.
go back and I'm like, that's not a great idea. You know,
Yeah.
I'm doing it all on my
Yes.
own. I was okay with it.
What gave you hope?
I think if something doesn't work, I'm going to try something else. And here's the thing with hope is that I don't love it.
Okay.
Hope is great, but it's not great by itself.
True.
Like, I can hope all day that this is going to work out. But if I don't do it or I don't take a leap, hope is nothing mere than just a wish. You can hope and dream that you're going to do these things, but you need action. So I never really looked for hope. I looked for my next action plan. I had done that for years, hoping that my situation would change, hoping I'd dig myself out of a hole. And none of that hope got me anywhere.
Do you ever feel like quitting?
Oh, yeah.
At what point?
Not really so much when I rented the suite and opened my own massage business. I didn't feel I had much of an option to quit, so that was never even a thought in my brain. Leasing the big house I'm in now was a very big project. The house was falling apart. The doors wouldn't shut. There were animals in it. I had to redo the whole home.
wow.
It was a construction thing. It was a permit thing. It was all these things that I didn't have experience
And that's
with.
more money out of your pocket
More
too.
money that I didn't have. I'm just a massage therapist. I'm not a business
Yeah.
investor. And then what if I get the place and I don't lease out the spaces?
Mm-hmm.
Then what? That's even worse. That's a huge risk.
2 mortgages.
Yeah, there's
With
no way
no-
with nothing coming in. I'm
Yeah.
just, the biggest thing happened was we had just started construction. It's an old home and it has radiators in it. We had just ripped everything out the floor and they exploded.
What
Every
exploded?
radiator in the house
No.
exploded, burst metal into the walls, flooded black, because the house was built in 1910, flooded black from the top floor to the basement. And I walked in and I sat there on the floor and I just cried because I thought, this is the end. There is no coming back from this. I can't fix this. This is a disaster. I had just signed the lease like 30 days prior. I'm like, I can barely do what I'm doing, let alone fix all of this. I called my husband and he came. I could tell he was struggling with it because it really did look very badly. Up until that point, people I had walked my friends through, I had walked my parents through, I'd walked my family through that house. They thought I was in over my head in the first place with the
You
project.
always have doubters.
I
Yeah.
seen what I wanted to do
Yeah.
to the whole place.
Yeah.
And I never doubted that in my head.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand why they couldn't see it. And then you have all these radiators exploding and flooding the whole thing. And I don't know how to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
What helped me at that point, I remember laying on the floor of that house and just thinking, I can't do this. I don't know how. I think this might be it. And I called my contractor up that was helping me with it. He was like, Laura, this is not the end.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to fix this. He's like, let me fix the floor so that it doesn't look so bad and we'll move forward and we'll figure it out. I was like, okay, I'm going to get out of this hole somehow. And I just operated through it. I had to take some emotion out of it because it felt devastating at the time because days are money. I'm paying rent. And every day this sets me behind is money gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a tough process. I had to go in front of the Plainfield board and get special permit for this business,
Really?
which was stressful because I'm a massage therapist. I was already operating a business in their town for months.
Okay.
I still needed a special permit in order to do massage in this space. So that whole process took a couple months. You have to give notice. You have to show up in front of the board. Well, a month's notice is a month's rent. What if I go on the board and they don't approve me, even though I've been doing business? And it
you
was,
signed a lease too.
yeah, and you can't go in front of the board unless you have the lease of where you're going.
Yeah.
So I went in front of a panel, and it was not an easy discussion back and forth of whether or not they wanted me to open that space or not. It was very intimidating. That was another hurdle to get through, another scary thing.
What was the
One-
reason behind?
There's a lot of misconceived notions of massage therapists and professionalism. And although I have proven that for multiple years of business in their city, you would think that wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
They were saying, well, we have enough massage therapists going up. And look, we had to close one down a block away for unprofessional behavior. And we think you should probably need to get fingerprints done if you're going to open, which they've now required massage therapists do.
What do you mean fingerprints done?
So
like,
fingerprints to make sure you don't have a criminal record before you do massage therapy.
okay.
Which is fine. I mean, take my
Right.
fingerprints.
Right.
You know, that was part of the discussion at that time. And then another person said, well, we don't want that parking lot filled with cars. It will look bad.
People just come up with
And I was like, well, don't you want cars in the
Yeah,
lot?
like-
That was a tough thing to get through. And they ended up voting, thank goodness. And enough of them voted yes that I was able to continue on
Wow.
with telling them I want to fix the space up. I want it to be nice. I only want wonderful things there, just like my business has been. You know, I want to bring other little businesses into that home as well. And
Yeah.
I ended up getting through that and just going through it. These are the steps. If other people can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And so I just kept moving forward.
This is something that you've never shared with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
All of that in mind now. You also said you published a book.
Yes.
When did you have time to
Yes.
work on the book?
At Christmas time, I took a week off of work, which I never do. I just take days here and there. Of course, I can't sit still when I'm at home. I had always wanted to write a book. I had tried writing a few children's books when my daughter was born, and they didn't really pan out to anything. I had sent them to publishers. They got letters back of rejection. And I was like, this maybe isn't my thing. December 2024, I had a week off, and I just felt like I want to write a story again.
Yeah.
I want to write a story. And if I could write a story, what would it be about? So I just was doing it for fun. I'm like, what do I love? I love rocks, And I wanted the rock to have something that kids could learn from it, And so this rock is shaped funny and he looks funny. He doesn't look like the other rocks that can roll. They all make fun of him because he looks different and he can't do the things they can do until Leo comes over, this little boy named Leo. And I'm a Leo, so that's why I named him that. But he comes over and finds Rocky sitting there and thinks he looks awesome and that he looks like a guitar. He takes Rocky to his talent show and puts him on stage. And Rocky decides to realize for himself how special he is and how unique he is. And that's what is in him is that makes him special, being different.
Yeah.
Everybody else realizes that, what makes people different is what makes them so special and unique. And they have other talents and stuff. And so that was the preface of my book about Rocky. I added some fun features in there that I really wanted to. I go searching for Petoskey stones with my family before school every year. So Petoskey stones are a little fossil that are found in Michigan. And they're from like the glacial time period. They're a 300 million year old fossil. My daughter and I love searching for them. And so I added that in my book. So every page in the book is a hidden Petoskey stone that kids can search for on the pages. And then there's also a secret message hidden in the book that if kids, they find like the secret message throughout the book and they send it to me and then I send them something special back.
Wow.
In the mail. Yeah, which is really kind of a neat interaction for me.
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything about writing a book, right? I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
So research, that week off, I did a deep dive into research. I wanted an illustrator who could do true illustrations, not just AI stuff.
Yes.
So I found an illustrator, a wonderful lady from Spain that does watercolor illustrations.
Wow.
So for 6 months, her and I went back and forth and picked illustrations for Rocky. And then I learned how to publish the book on my own, how to edit the book, get an editor to go over the book with me on my own, and kind of learn that whole process.
Wow.
And decided just to do it because life is too short. And I wanted to do the book. And here we are.
This must have been a process.
Oh, yeah.
In the back of your head, like in the back of your mind for a long time.
Yes. Yes.
So it doesn't just appear overnight like, okay, I'm going to take this week and start.
It was definitely a balance during this whole thing because now I'm running a suite business for all the people that are leasing suites. I'm operating that business. I'm taking care of the building, running my own business, hired an employee for that and 2 employees for that. So I was trying to balance that as well. And then getting this book done. And plus then my life, my kids are in competitive sports. And so running to and from there. So really any free moment I had was filled with approving images and researching these things. And any free second I had that I was waiting in line somewhere or I was Googling, screenshotting, coming back home, writing it down, learning all of that, and then finding any spare moment that I could to just move forward.
Multitasking at its finest.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I wanted to do it. And actually, I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. I was afraid I wasn't going to finish it. I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to figure out how to do it on my own. And if I did, that would be embarrassing that I had told people that I wrote this book and I couldn't even finish it.
What does this moment mean to you now?
I am proof that you can change things. You can change your situation. You can take control of it. It might not be easy, but you can do it. And if there's something that you're really passionate about, you will naturally roll forward with it. Just if you can honor that, honor yourself, try to block out the other things that people say. Because if I listened to that, I would not be here today. I mean, I only published the book a couple months ago, but
still,
now here it is.
Yeah.
Like I have a book. I have a physical book.
A couple months ago, you
didn't.
Yeah,
I did not. I did not. And so like if I can do that, it's the effort you put into things. If I can inspire one person to start doing those types of things. Start looking out for yourself. No one's going to get you out of the situation you're in. Nobody's coming to rescue you. And it took me realizing that I have to do that. I have to get myself out of this. Do all the things that you love doing
Absolutely.
and surround yourself with the things that you love, and good
Absolutely.
things start to happen. So I'm just a true believer in that. When you follow your passion, really let it take you places and see where it goes. It doesn't hurt.
Do you think that there was maybe like one common lesson, like an reoccurring pattern that you were like, okay, this feels familiar. I think I know how to overcome this?
One big struggle I had throughout the whole thing is being a woman and being taken seriously.
How
And it
so?
seems like, oh, we should be past that now.
Right, right.
As a generation and culture, we should be past that. But it's still there.
Wow.
It's still there in everything. I go in and ask for something to get done, it doesn't get done. A man goes in and asks for something to get done, all of a sudden it's done. They get the
Interesting.
results back. Of course, I don't ever want to call people out, so that's why I'm not going to do that. But there were a lot of times where I could tell I had to play into what they wanted to hear in order for me to get what I wanted. That's me being a woman needing to do that. And so it's unfortunate that society is still that way, even when you don't think it is. It's a struggle being a woman on your own, moving forward and being taken seriously, and having people believe that you know what you're talking about. I encourage other women to be able to do that and take that confidence, keep that confidence in yourself that you know what you're doing, and don't let anybody steal that from you. Don't let
Yeah.
anybody make you feel less than that, even if it's with an idea, even if it's presenting in front of people, even if it's doing anything
Anything.
outside your comfort zone. Don't let anybody make you feel like you can't do it or that you shouldn't be there.
Absolutely.
So I try to take that with me. I don't know if that completely answers your question, but
Is this what you thought success would feel like or is?
I think about that. And I don't know if I feel success. What is success? What is success to feel successful? I'm always working on that success. I'm always working, like, my business doesn't run itself. Hopefully, I'll be able to write another book and continue on with that. Success is like an ongoing thing for me.
Okay.
And to keep being successful, and not just successful in work, successful in being a mom, successful in being a wife, successful in being a business owner. Some days I feel successful, some days I do not feel successful. And I think it's always going to be that way. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with living off those successful moments. And some won't, that balance won't always be there. But I get to feel those success moments and kind of live off of those.
I can fully understand what you mean, because to say you're successful means that you've reached pretty much the end of your journey.
That's a good way to put it.
On that note, do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel like, okay, I want to maybe take a breather, stop here, enjoy this moment?
So I feel very fulfilled with my massage practice. I love that. My clients, I absolutely love that. I'm always learning. I feel so fulfilled with that. I feel fulfilled with my suites that I lease out, those suites. I feel so fulfilled with this book. And I would be happy if that's it. And I stop here. But I want to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep going. I still have the drive in me. I still have ideas. I am comfortable with where I am, but I just love doing more.
You love the challenge.
Yeah, I love the challenge. And eventually I'll get to the point where I just want to rest. Right now, I just want to keep going.
Can you share with me some advice that you've received?
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
I just posted that on my
Did you?
Instagram this morning.
Really?
Yes, no kidding.
Oh my
Like on my
gosh.
story. Nothing
Yes.
changes if nothing changes.
Yes. I heard that a while back ago when I was at the bottom. I felt like I was 12 feet under. Not 6, but 12. That thought of nothing changes if nothing changes. And you get stuck in this routine. But if you could do one little thing to change that routine, what it looks like, Even if you're trying to work out or do something, if you go take a walk, that one little thing changes everything. It changes the cycle, it changes that circle. And so every tiny little thing you do, then it adds up. And so when someone says nothing changes, if I just keep doing the same thing and struggling through it, nothing's changing that cycle. And I see a lot of friends still and people still that get stuck in cycles.
Yeah.
They have the power to get themselves out. So I love that
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're never stuck, because that feeling of stuck is so awful.
Like
and
you feel
so
helpless
it's
too.
so helpless. It's such a terrible feeling.
Where can people find out more about you, about your business, about your book?
I have my book. I have it. My book is on Amazon.
Okay. Oh,
He's
that
cute,
is
isn't
so
he?
cool.
He's a little rock. So it is now on Amazon.
That is so cool.
So you can find Rocky Star there. That's the name of the book. The Body Mechanic, Massage and Bodywork. That
Okay.
is my massage business. I'm downtown Plainfield.
Do you have a website or
I
Facebook and
have
something like
a
that?
website. It is through Massage Book. And I can get you that website because it's quite complicated.
Oh yeah.
Of
Oh, it's not like your URL or
No, I
something
do
like
it through a
that.
booking program
Okay.
just because it streamlines
Makes sense.
working for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. No,
It
absolutely.
streamlines
Yeah.
all of that. I do have a website for Rock and Rose as well, where I lease out the suites.
Okay.
My biggest thing, though, is I post a lot about what I do on my Facebook, which is
Okay.
Hidden Gem Reads. And then I have a Facebook page for the Body Mechanic, Massage and Bodywork. I do a lot on there. I do giveaways on there. I do
Interesting.
all
What is that
sorts of
Facebook
stuff.
there?
And that is the Body Mechanic MB.
Any advice for individuals that want to start also their own endeavor? Like, what kind of advice would you give them?
Don't just take a big old leap. Research first. That's the smart thing to do. Really know what you're doing and learn everything you possibly can about it so that you're educated in it and you're not risking too many things. And then 2 would be go for it. Definitely go for it. Follow your passion. Don't always listen to what everybody says. Don't you follow what's in your heart and go for what you really want to do. You will find so much fulfillment in that. And if something doesn't work, it's 100% okay. Try something else. It doesn't mean you need to give up. It just means try something different. There's going to be a lot of things that don't work, and just be prepared for that. That doesn't mean you're a failure at it. It just means you're learning and you can go forward with it.
That is a
And
wonderful
thank you so
message.
much for having me on here. This
It was
was
a pleasure.
such a wonderful experience. I've never done anything like this, so I just appreciate it so much.
The pleasure and the honor is all mine.
Thank you.
Because, I mean, sitting here having you to tell me these stories, the things that you haven't shared with anybody,
Yeah.
it's an honor.
Thank
I
you.
must say. Like, really. It's, I feel special.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I would like to end the podcast on that note. So, for everybody watching, listening, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And if Laura's story inspired you, subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. And also share it with somebody to inspire their day as well. Laura, thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you.
And I will see everybody in the next episode.